Hello, beautiful warriors of life. Welcome back to the Part of the Process podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Peredia. In today's episode, we are going to discuss creative energy. I don't know about you all, but I feel like I am the most fulfilled in life when I am just in my creative energy, when thoughts, ideas are just flowing. You could just be walking your dog outside and all of a sudden you get an idea and you start reflecting on it. And I just feel like it just feels like you're just so connected with the universe, with God, with your higher self. Being in a creative energy is something that sometimes is not always accessible or it's blocked. There's so many things in life as we navigate through life that stop you from being in creative energy or that don't allow space to be in that creative energy. So we're going to discuss in this episode what obstacles in life hold you back from being in this pure creative state and how can you move towards being in your creative energy. Your creative energy is essentially your unique self, your unique thoughts. Let's discuss what affects your creative energy. Sometimes past traumatic experiences can cast a shadow on your creative spirit. For example, if you grew up in an environment where self-expression was discouraged, it might have left you feeling inhibited when it comes to creativity. Or perhaps you had an idea and you thought it was brilliant and somebody else shut down that idea. That can totally crush your creative spirit. I feel like as I am healing my trauma through therapy, through reading, putting in the work, the creativity is able to flow through my body more. Because, when you have trauma, you have blockages, you have trauma stored in various places of your body. You have trauma thoughts, and until you release all that, I feel like it's hard for other energies to flow through you. The love energy, the creativity energy. Healing trauma can definitely help move you closer to your ultimate highest creative self. It feels so great when you're just like at peace and creativity just flows through you. And I'm not just talking about being artistic or, that creativity. I'm talking about being able to critically think, analytically think, downloading thoughts, things just making sense, the ability to flow, be a free thinker. That is sometimes tarnished when you experience certain adversities. That we are discussing being a free thinker, things that also can affect that are diet, right? These dyes that are in food, red 40, yellow 60. I know when I eat sugar, I have brain fog, so I'm not able to come up with things as effortlessly. And yeah, that's one main thing that makes me have a lot of brain fog. So yeah, your diet or the lack of exercise, right? Because when there's movement, again, you're moving all these energies in your body. So exercise can move these energies through you, whether it's yoga, whether it's resistance training, Pilates, weights. There's energy moving and you're not stagnant. You're not just sitting all day. And, sometimes I'm at the gym and I get this amazing idea because I have oxygen moving through my body. I have through my brain. I have neurotransmitters moving, the happy hormones and so forth. So it brings about creativity. Another thing that can tarnish your creativity as like a kid, because I think about my inner child all the time, how I grew up in an environment that was unsecure, violent, aggressive, basically grew up in survival mode. And I think about my inner child, how I'm not thinking of creative things, of painting, of drawing, I'm over here thinking how I'm going to survive the next time my parents yell at me, the next time they fight, the next time they hit me. That's what I'm thinking. And I think back as to if I was raised in love and not raised in survival, I probably would have started my creativity path way younger. I probably wouldn't have been as lost about what I want to do with life. I probably would have known myself a little better, but it's fine. We are here right now with the ability to make up for the lost years, and so far, so good. The creativity has been flowing a lot lately, after healing and so forth. But I think about that a lot. You're a kid. You're an innocent child thinking about how you're going to survive instead of thinking about what you're going to paint, thinking about your toys. I can only imagine how much more different it must be when you're given that safe place to be able to be yourself and express yourself and be as creative as you want without someone telling you that you're doing things wrong, that that's not how you should hold a marker, that's not how you should draw a picture. I think back to my inner child and, I give her so much love. I tell myself, like, you're safe now. No one's gonna tell you that you're doing things wrong. You're in a safe environment to be able to have these ideas flow through you. You're good. You're safe. Be creative. Be expressive. Be yourself. Be in that creative energy that you didn't get the chance to be in when you were younger and in survival mode. Another factor that can hold you back from being in your creative energy is being in a toxic relationship. I remember when I was in a toxic relationship, whether it's been with friends, significant others, toxic relationship with your job, I wasn't able to tap into my creative energy. I was so preoccupied and stressed, and it was so challenging to even recognize who you are because you're so stressed all the time. You have anxiety because of this toxic person or toxic environment, and all your energy goes to that because you're like, what is going on here? I remember there's been times where I was like, what is my favorite color even? Because I have no idea. I'm over here in this toxic relationship, unable to even tell you what my favorite color was. I think choosing the correct workplace, the correct friends, the correct partner will help harbor that creative energy, and you have the choice to be in healthy environments. Now as an adult, maybe as a kid, you couldn't just run away. Although if I could go back, I would have left. I would have been like, I'm out. Just kidding. But now as an adult, you get to choose what your environment is like. Sure, that job may be stressful at times and toxic, but you get to choose what you let in your life. It's time to break free from these toxic friends, toxic lovers. Break free from the limitations so that you can be in your higher self, creative, happy, loving energy. There's a video, my sister is a huge Drake fan, so there's a video of Drake in which he talks about how he feels like he goes through extended periods of time where he's riding a creative wave. And during these times, he's like in a state of heightened creativity, almost as if he's on a high without the need for external substances. I think that's such a privilege to be able to take months off, like he said in his video, to just sit in your creative energy and feel like a god or a goddess and create art. It's like your gift to the world, and to be as successful as Drake, to be able to have that much money and take months off to just be creative and be in that space and energy must feel amazing. So that is the goal, to be able to take months off with no external factors and just make podcasts or be a writer or, whatever your situation is, make music. But for me, that is the ultimate goal. Like being in a hotel and writing or creating podcasts with a view of the ocean. Like, that is the life I want. And hopefully when I get there, I can listen back to this podcast and be like, oh my gosh, girl, you were just manifesting this in January of 2024. And that is the reality I want for myself, being in that creative flow without life getting in the way. Honestly, the last thing I want to talk about before we get into how to boost your creative energy is these 9-to-5s out here, man. I know, it's so much energy I've realized that goes into these 9-to-5s that it's like sometimes you're so drained out that there's no room for creative energy other than on the weekends, So I've tried to balance it out and not give up myself completely to this 9-to-5 so that I can still have energy to come home and make my podcast or edit my podcast, because essentially one day I just want to create these podcasts and write books and so forth and not have to report to a 9-to-5, because that's a long time. That's 8 hours and then an hour lunch and then the commute time. That's a lot. That's time that could be used into being in your creative flow, to be honest. Right, so now moving on to what has helped me be in my creative energy. Like I said earlier, healing my trauma, really getting to know myself, and that has opened up so much for me. I go to therapy. I do EMDR, which I'll probably have an episode on that. Read a bunch of books. Moving out some of that trauma has opened up space for this creativity. Most of my creativity comes in when I'm walking my dog. I get up really early, between 5 and 6. We go on a walk, and sometimes the ideas are just flowing, early in the morning, or when we take our evening walk, or when we go on our midday walk to the park. I have to pull out my phone and start typing on notes, because there's just periods of time where I don't know who speaks through me or where I get these ideas from, but it just comes, right? So being in nature, going on hikes, really helps. Nature, the beauty of nature, the trees can spark inspiration. There's so many, I forgot the name of the artist, but he got his inspirations from going to Zion National Park, his painting inspirations. What is it? Bob Ross got his inspirations from Alaska. So yeah, definitely going out in nature. Meditation is another one. It helps clear the mental clutter, right? And create space for creative thoughts to emerge. Sit there, clear your mind, and allow new energy to enter your space, your body, your soul, your mind. And then you're letting go of old energy, the old you, and allowing space for new energy. And speaking of letting go of toxic people, closing that door, closing that chapter also brings about new energy. It's almost empowering once you close the door and you open another one, how much energy can flow through you. What if I told you the best life is awaiting you on the other side of the door? You just have to shut the door behind you. Would you do it? Practicing gratitude can also shift your focus towards positivity and abundance, making it easier to tap into creative energy. When you appreciate the present moment, your creativity again flows more freely. When you declutter all those negative thoughts and start focusing on positive, on what is good in your life, again, you make space for that energy to flow. And that's just it. Energy. Like when you rearrange your bedroom, the energy feels different. You know, when you move something from the hallway, there's new energy. The old things that were there are gone, and it just feels different. You know, that's what you have to do. You got to do a lot of moving around here. Something that you should do, like my podcast room, is my personal workspace. So it inspires me. I walk in here, there's plants, there's colors. I have a little moon backdrop, and it resonates with my creative spirit. That is who I am. And I try to keep it as clean as possible because, you know, the more junk you have, the less energy can flow. So I try to be a minimalist and try to declutter just the same way you need to declutter your mental space and get the energies flowing. You also have to declutter your physical space. When it's messy, it's like you can't get started on something. It's like a blockage. Anyways, listening to good music also helps my creativity flow. Reading books, getting ideas from others, you know, ideas bouncing back and forth, watching YouTube videos, and being happy. Like, I feel like when I eliminate all external factors and I'm just happy and I'm out in nature, like the ideas just start coming in, as I've already repeatedly said a bunch of times. And so back to the letting go. Let's conclude this and talk about letting go. Letting go is so transformative. Imagine being in a toxic relationship that just drains your energy and stifles your creativity. I've told myself never again will I allow anyone in my life that doesn't allow me to be in my creative energy. Like, if you are not attributing to this, you're out of my life. If you're too toxic for me, you're out. Being in your creative energy, it gets you closer to your life purpose, gets you closer to the life you want. Ask yourself, am I in my creative energy? What's stopping me from being in my creative energy? Am I in survival mode and I can't get any ideas down? You know, who am I? What's my favorite color? What is my voice? Do I have a safe space? That's the end of the episode, guys. Thank you for joining me on this profound journey into creativity, energy, and self-expression. Remember, your creative essence is a precious gift that deserves to shine. Do not allow anyone to stifle your creative energy or to tell you that your ideas are stupid or they're horrible ideas, okay? You know that you are creative and your value and what you provide. Your creative essence is a precious gift that deserves to shine. Like, we are all unique and we all each have our own creativity to share with the world. So until next time, stay connected to your inner spark and keep evolving on your unique journey. Whatever it is that you're going through, hang in there because the world needs you and I need you. All right, guys, take care. Follow me on all socials at Part of the Process podcast. And until next time, I hope you guys are freely flowing in your creative energy. Goodbye.